Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am the new player in town. I wanted to start off this video with a big thank you to Conspiracy Cats because he had commented on my last video and recommended it to his followers on Twitter, and they all followed the lead. So to all of you guys, and of course especially Conspiracy Cats, thank you so much. It made my whole week. And now I thought we could watch the new video from Phuket Word and see what he has to say about Earth's missing curvature.
Wonderful example of flatness as well. I mean, it's funny, I saw a video this morning before I came out, someone talking about stars and things like that as proof that we live on a globe. Well, really, they're just, changing the perspective into an imaginary curve. Of course, when you study this, you realize that it can be interpreted in a multitude of ways when you're looking up at the sky.
But stars are proof of Earth's shape as a globe, because it's the only shape where it is possible that the star's apparent movement in the northern hemisphere is counterclockwise and in the southern hemisphere is clockwise. How would you explain that on a flat plane then?
And of course, if you're not taking perspective into account, then you're ignoring the geometry of perspective or converting it into a spherical Earth.
Only that you can claim at the end that I did something weird. Here's a video where I take a screenshot of your video and can show you that there is curvature. So we're taking the screenshot. You can do this at home, you don't need any fancy program for it. So there's the screenshot and we edit it just in Paint and distort it. You keep the vertical proportion and reduce the horizontal to 2%. Okay, let's do this and look at that. If you zoom in, you can't tell me that this looks completely flat. There is a teeny tiny bit of curvature. It's a screenshot of your video and I just distorted it so you can see a teeny tiny bit of curvature. That's the easiest way to find it out because it's so tiny that with our naked eye we can't see anything of it. But if you squish the picture together, you can see it. And that is what I call success.
But look, I mean, we have to imagine that this flatness we see here across a vast distance is somehow curving. And of course, we're told that it curves away at the horizon in front of us, but I can see, you probably can't see them in this camera, but there's several things, several boats and ships, and there's a piece of land over there that's on the horizon, and they are at different distances, so they're just further away on a flat level ocean. Yeah, they're not magically going down a curve, they just get too far away to see eventually. But because of our low perspective, we're just on the beach here, maybe 3 meters, because there's a bit of a slope, so we're about 3 meters above sea level.
But if you'd wait until these ships and boats go further and further away, at some point they will disappear from bottom up. And that is the horizon, that is the curvature in between the way when you try to look at them. And no telescope or camera in the world can zoom them back in. You could do this yourself, but you probably won't, because you know that would disprove all of your claims. But on a flat Earth, you should probably see, for example, from Spain all the way up to America. On a flat Earth with a telescope, you should be able to see something there. But you can't, because Earth is not flat. Until I can stand at a beach in Spain with a big old telescope and see America, you won't have a point.
Kind of, it's the reverse, isn't it? We see more and more horizontally in a more and more condensed area as we go off into the distance. So even though we have a certain distance across between that point over there and that point over there, just a few, let's say a mile or so in front of us, you know, going 6, 10, 8, 20 miles in front means that all that is, you know, that there's more space, more real space in more condensed space in our vision. So again, we you know, there's no excuses and there's no reasons for seeing flatness other than the fact that it is flat. So of course, any claims that there's just claims never been properly observed, things going down over the horizon, they don't do that. And if anyone who claims that they are doing that in the horizon in front of you at a certain distance, should also see the same curvature across the horizontal. It's very simple if we are to live on a sphere. But of course, the explanation that it appears relatively flat has already been kind of embedded as an excuse for the globe pumping community.
Of course, there are reasons, even explanations, why Earth appears flat to the naked eye, for example, on a beach. Because Earth is huge. And you're an idiot. Just because you don't understand something doesn't make it impossible. There are certain experiments you can do yourself to prove if Earth is indeed flat or a globe. For example, you can film the star movement through a night in both hemispheres and compare them. You can also look at the stars in both different hemispheres and you can see that there are certain stars you can't see from the northern hemisphere and other stars you can see in the northern hemisphere but not in the southern. So, or Eratosthenes. He figured out Earth's circumference only by comparing shadows from today's Aswan and Alexandria in Egypt. When the sun was directly over a stick in the ground, it wouldn't cast a shadow at all. But in Alexandria, a stick in the ground did cast a shadow. But over 2,000 years ago, he knew with the distance between both of the cities and the angle of the shadow, he could calculate the circumference of a spherical planet. These shadows did prove the Earth was a globe because it just wouldn't be possible on a flat plane. You probably have subscribers from many different countries. Make a live stream at a certain time where everyone can join and we would all go out, put a big old stick in the ground and measure the angle of all of the shadows. And with the force of many debunkers and flat earthers, we would probably be possible to prove that Earth is either a sphere or flat. And we can calculate it all together that no one could say at the end, oh, it wasn't valid or anything else. That could prove something. But I know you probably would find a way out.
And we all know that, you know, by gaining elevation, gaining height, then we will see further across that surface, or see, you know, we would see then the surface between two distant objects, and it would be more apparent.
Okay, you did say they're two different things. First, you did admit that you can see further with a higher elevation. That would mean Earth is a globe. That's what you said. Because on a flat plane, like you said afterwards, with a higher elevation, you would just see a bigger surface between the edge of the world and you. What is it? Because what you said is mostly proof of globe Earth.
There's a Longtail boat out there, and what we can do, I hope you can see that. All right, and it's obviously below the horizon at the moment, but if I come down like this, then it's going to appear more on the horizon, isn't it? Yeah. That's just the geometry of perspective. So yeah, probably not very easy to see in this thing.
But that's more curvature than just perspective. You are standing a little bit more elevated, and therefore you can see a little bit further. That means you would see, in this case, more water behind the boat. And if you go down on sea level on the ground, it seems that the boat is directly on the horizon, or it can even disappear behind it. And if you stand up very quickly, it is possible that you will see the boat full again with a little bit of water behind it. That is proof of the globe. You did prove the globe.
It's still flat, guys. And the only excuses and stuff you'll get are ones that just don't make sense. And you get people looking up at the sky and stuff rather than looking across. Actually, you know, trying to make a proper scientific observation or measurement of water. Yeah. That's all I got to say. It's still flat. Okay. And until someone else comes up with an actual measurement of curvature on the surface in all directions, then I'm still a flat earther. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Proper scientific observational measurement. You did it, bud. And you did prove the globe. And right after this, he said the first absolutely correct thing probably ever. Until someone else comes up with an actual measurement of the curvature in all directions, then I'm still a flat earther. And that is true. We've seen it with Bob, Jaren, Anthony. Every one of them did prove Earth's rotation, curvature, and even that moonlight isn't cooling. But all of them had the capacity of mental gymnastics to wiggle their minds out of it so they can still believe in their crap. I truly believe that there's almost nothing at the end that can change their mind on Earth's shape, because they're not genuine while trying to find the truth. They just want to find the things that prove their point of view, and that has nothing to do with truth. And that is the ignorance that everyone is talking about. At least he's honest with it. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for joining, and if you did like the video, please like and subscribe, and of course let me know what you think in the comments. I wish you all a great day or night, and take care. Bye!